very, very quick thing. Everything I'm just going to put up into like stream section of my channel right now. Because I just can't be bothered shoving it into their video section like it used to do naturally. But, that's just the state of the world. Nothing is preset and stays working as intended. Kind of like right here. You see this? How you have this wonderful picture of Skull and Bones, and how I don't have a menu UI and stuff like that. That's because I just went up to go talk to the guy, maybe see if I have some new cannons, talk to some of the other store keeps, and they seem to be working okay. I noticed they don't have dialogue that verbally speaks when you're in at those locations anymore. I'm pretty sure they did when the game first started up, so I don't know why they wouldn't now, just text. But now I go to stand up to talk to this guy, and the whole game soft locks. So yeah, that's real good. And of course, it also suffers from a hellacious, weird battle pass-like system that is just, hey, guess what? You need to pay for this. Hey, guess what? You're also on a timer. Hey, guess what? If you paid for this and you did it like in the late days, well, you can't get this stuff, and you've got to slave your life to this game that that you paid for, and the cosmetics that you paid for, and the pass that you paid for, and then you become a slave for what you paid for, like it's a real-life boat in the ground. I mean, if I'm going to do that, I could literally just put like a boat in real life and stick it in the water, and then have all kinds of passive problems. At least when I turn the game off, it won't be still incurring damage, or does it? You never know. Other than the fact that you'll lose it one day, no matter how well you take care of it. I guess true could be said for some boats, but you could really just kind of keep working on the boat and keep it afloat, and granted you're replacing parts of it at the same time. But this game, just wow. It already felt like bad and delays, even on the PS5, which it was like really supposed to be tailored for. Even on like less than highest visual fidelity, it still feels like it's kind of bogged and slower than it should. It's just, this game. I came back to play it because I heard that, a friend of mine was going to go play it. Then I got on, then he's busy with something else. And I kind of see why. Because I don't really think it's a case of that they really want to play it that much. I don't know if anyone really wants to who I know. This game was one of the most serious letdowns of, I believe, last year. It was last year, right? And this is my first time returning to it for a very long time. And I'm just, welcomed with a wondrous soft lock at this nice chap's face. With his split down the middle that he sewed back up one day, and I see just was no longer out. This game kind of feels like it was, cut up into some weird stuff like microtransactions. And then further went on to just have a warring ache in my ass. Because I come back and then I'm already spent, I swear, an hour or two just trying to catch up on, okay, what does this offer? What does this offer? Is the shop anything worth it? Answer's no, it's not. Yeah, we still have the problem of, hey, guess what? You need to get a blueprint for everything, even though that you still have to... They act like you're the one crafting the goddamn cannons yourself. When this shithead is the one who's doing it. You're telling me, with all the time he's got, and he's clearly made a lot of shit back there, you're telling me I need fucking blueprints to make shit? That makes no sense. That's just like a horrific artificial way of backing people up from getting better stuff sooner. And it's just garbage. It makes no sense in character-wise. It feels very artificial. And then when you go to, see if you can craft something more, maybe picked up some blueprints. Pretty sure I have at some point behind, and I just didn't want to play it anymore at the time, so I just didn't bother. And when I come back and it soft locks. Good job, Ubisoft. Gosh, no wonder some other company wanted to buy you out, but couldn't because France has anti-hostile takeover laws, which at first I thought maybe was a good thing, but wow. Skull and Bones, not only did we wait for years, but then you threw it back together in such a quick, hastily set and put it out. It runs like garbage. Don't tell me that it's because, oh, well, it's supposed to be this. I remember Cyberpunk saying, oh, well, it locks so much because of PS4, well, it's meant for PS5 with CD Projekt Red. another company that's, stuff, at least they could turn that around. Yeah, it turns out they were lying because they actually said that they were doing it way years ago, and it very much was planned for the PS4, and yeah, it was just crap on both ends. They just were able to rely on the PS5's a little bit more stability and power for it to be a little bit more stable and whatnot. But yeah, maybe this is the real reason why Skull and Bones just never came out and half-passed forever, and we waited forever, only to be kicked in the nuts. Because now, well, I obviously can't move. So maybe my character was software-wise kicked in the balls, because he's staring at this guy who looks like, I don't know, someone you meet at the wrong kind of a rock concert, in certain parts of Europe that I just don't want to associate with. Maybe that's why he soft-locked kicked me in the nuts. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to end it here, because I got no other choice. Because my streaming thing is suddenly going to cut out, because I'm just going to use the PlayStation's streaming bit. Because why would I do anything else? Because this is what happens, and yeah. Just really wanted to make that quick video, just to show you, this is Skull and Crossbones' new pass of, here's a bunch of stuff that you have to pay real money for to get the most big stuff, whether you think you do or not, because sure, you could go with the little reward token things, stuff like that, but then you realize a lot of that is going to be so slow a slog without the pass. And it's just garbage. It's really just garbage. I'm probably going to play it for a little while until Space Marine 2 comes out, and then hopefully that won't be as bad as like Call of Duty and this like passes and stuff like that. I'm going to hope it's not. I'm hoping they learned a little bit from Helldivers in the good way possible. And then people will be playing that instead of Helldivers. And then we'll see maybe in the rest of 60 days that company, Arrowhead, says that they're going to get their stuff back together and working. Because, well, we'll see. I'm kind of doubting it's going to go over smooth, though. They said that they were going to hire more people, and maybe they should have hired those more people before they all went on vacation. I guess they hired maybe a few just to really watch some of the basic stuff, and then they screwed that up, went on vacation. We were told that they couldn't do stuff before because they were on vacation, and like over a month later, felt like 2 months, that people were on vacation. I think at the same time, like, Arrowhead, I know you did Game of the Year and all that jazz, of at least in a category or two, but really? Gosh, but anyway, before I rant even longer, I'm going to leave it at that. Skull and Bones is still pretty broke as AF, and yeah, it's not great. So I'm going to just relog it and play it a little bit, see what I feel about it, see if the performance issues on the PS5, which people say, oh, I know, it's nothing. Yeah, well, that's because some of us have been playing since 1984, and know what a fast responsive time is supposed to feel like from controller to screen, and it just goes on from there. It's just a bad case of, holy crap, what are you doing? And this is why people like RGT85 are playing old retro games, because, well, now you can play a lot of those old games with higher frame rates and stuff like that, and quite frankly, I'm happy with like PS4 visuals and stuff like that. It's just unfortunate that most of the good games and game design was way back on the PS3 and Xbox 360. Go ahead. Change my mind. So, yeah, because around 2008 we had stuff like Lost Planet 2, and that's when we started to see journos that could sync a game with bad reviews, because at that time we still had some belief in journos. And, yeah, only these days, and we realized why the journos were so becoming distantly departed, because well, a bunch of these magazines wanted to upstart because, gaming industry is the biggest thing, period. And, yes, and now they let them dictate a lot of things in the game industry because they couldn't dictate to players anymore, because players knew they were ass. And now they got other jobs with, like, DEI. And in case you ever realized, throughout history, anything with DEI, 3 letters together in any order, generally isn't good. Because you don't want a DIE, and you also don't want an IDE anywhere near you. So that's basically what DEI feels like combined. And I'm not saying that you can't have all kinds of diverse characters and whatnot. By all means, a slew of my friends have all sorts of walks of life, because I do a little Sky Pirate thing actually on PC over in another spot. And we get along fine, and a lot of them even are saying, this is dumb. It's basically ham-fisted pushing things in up the butt in an unpleasant way just to get this artificial score, so they can get artificial BlackRock money because they think, oh, well, we have all this big money to start. And then they still try to, hold to those bits for holding that money. And then they realize, oh, yeah, by the way, now our studio's broken dead because they didn't sell anything. So, yeah, I got one person apparently watching. Hello, viewer. You're probably tuning in at the wrong time, though. Not your fault. I'm just making really quick videos to show you just how Skull and Bones is still broken on the PlayStation 5. Probably more than ever, because now it's soft locks. So they got the chat thing, which nobody uses, text-wise to work. And now the chat, the vocalizations, when you're stepping up these benches, just don't seem to work. And now if you walk up to the wrong bench at any one time and the game just feels like it, you'll soft lock like this. I can't do anything. Not a damn thing other than reset my PlayStation. So I guess I could queue on up another stream if you want to jump back in. Probably not. I mean, it's Skull and Bones, let's be real. But if you're wondering if now's a good time to get into Skull and Bones, no. Just no. It's not. I'm playing it because a friend was going to go back to playing it. It's let us all down. It's a letdown across the board. Has been, probably always will be. And it deals with the same battle pass situation where, like, you have to afford the pass if you want to get anywhere in life. And then on top of that, now you're also timed. So you, unlike Helldivers, which has its own problems right now, at least you can do that at your pace, at your leisure. This is not that. This is Call of Duty-esque crap, where if you don't keep on it like a schedule within your life, and your life depends on it, because your time and money literally will depend on it if you feel like putting money into it. And I really don't feel like putting much more money into Skull and Bones, quite frankly. I'll be waiting for Space Marine 2 for that, and hopefully the pass system won't be similar to that too much. I'm hoping it'll be more like Helldivers, where if you can't get money in-game for all the vanity things, okay, I get it. But this whole thing where you got to do this in an X amount of time for a pass that you paid for, to pay for the right to then further have to play and earn things, you better make it worth my while. Putting a time limit is not how you do that. I absolutely refuse to play games like that on the regular. And Skull and Bones was the first teacher of a game that I really went into that was going to do that I dared to really take a launch on at birth. I didn't know it was going to be this bad. But then Call of Duty also reminded me of how bad it was when I was going to finally get into it for Warhammer 40k, like cosmetic stuff, only to realize that, you would only get a scout, and the only time you're going to march around as a Space Marine is as this, bomb trooper-looking guy, which is a rarity in normal matches, and otherwise in matches where everybody just looks the bloody well same. So, yeah, glad I didn't fall for that, because I also saw how crappy Call of Duty cinematics were running on a PC in a way that felt very bad. Like, it was really bad for the hard drive itself. It's just trash across the board in a lot of gaming recently. Hopefully Space Marine 2 will buck that trend. But we understand it's, still stuff with GW and stuff like that. But it doesn't look like it's crazy ham-fisting a bunch of things like they tried to do for the whole Amazon thing, which I think is going to get walked back. Because the word is that things over Amazon and GW are not going well. They are probably going to crap can the TV show, which, believe it or not, looking at some of the subtext of the contract that we're now starting to hear about, it seems like if they did go along with contract and the contract was a success, it meant that a lot of things regarding to TV and movies was going to slide into the domain of being handled by Amazon, which, if you realize and really think about it, how much money did GW spend into launching their Warhammer TV campaign? It means they would have spent all that money for basically nothing, or now have to literally compensate for whatever Amazon feels is appropriate for it, and probably carrying it over to their service rather than their own, which means major hemorrhage of money. And so basically GW did all that for no reason, that whole thing with the Custodes thing. If they wrote it better, like, okay, they were trying something new with a female Custodes, fine. It literally would have been better to do a female space marine than even custodes. But before you lynch me, hear me out. It's because gene seed mutates. It does. And it's now another shot down the line, and you've seen how Salamander's successor chapters, oh, they don't exist, I never heard of that. Yeah, go read a little lore. They have the most bizarrely changing people with like horns and things coming out of their armor that they're also using as weapons, and stuff that borderline is nigh barely acceptable by the Inquisition, and they probably get away with a little bit more of that because Salamanders keeps their brothers on the down low, their brother chapters, and the Salamanders are also nice as hell, and it's probably partly why it's probably good to show that you're nice as hell when you're a Space Marine, because if you do have these issues, well, some more of the Inquisitors are probably willing to work with you. You know, kind of like Space Wolves. They're not good all the time. If you were hoping to get a ship back that Chaos stole and then they liberate it back with some other faction, too bad. If they want in a war, they're going to keep it unless you make them a really good offer for it. Even then, it's probably going to be high. So anyways, right, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going on a tangent. But yeah, Skull and Bones. It's currently crap. Probably always will. Bye-bye on this.